Have you had what feels like a long day at work and you want to hop on to Bloons Tower Defense 6, go onto a map editor and try and find yourself a relatively simple map for you to play? Well, I think this is going to be the one. Look at all these twists and turns in here just to be able to get to university. Welcome to today's video, or whenever you're watching this, the Path OC Transpo Takes to University by Bloonbuffoon. Let us get to today's topic, which is going to be a 2 Megapops video, in which we're going to be doing this with the biggest one, because mortars have been given a buff. Like the default attack has gone from 1 pop to 2 pops per mortar strike on the field. So that's going to be very, very good, actually, because it means that we're going to be able to deal with those regrows just a little bit more easy. So we're going to be popping down our engineer in order to start us off with, and there's going to be lots of cuts because of, well, the track length. We have finally started popping, and hopefully because of that we're shooting down here with the nails, it means that even with those which are out of our range are still being popped in a way. And can we afford... Okay, we're going to go for a larger surface area in order to make this just a little bit shorter when it comes to time consumption. This track kind of resembles life in a way. There are so many twists and turns. Like, this is the amount that you have to do on a day-to-day basis. But it feels like the progression you make is vertical rather than horizontal. So you go this way a lot, or this way a lot, but you go up very, very minusculely for a lot of work. I have a bunch of maps saved that I am planning on going over with their own little challenges here and there to see what one can do on the map, and they're not always going to be a 2 tower chimps or a 2 megapops video. There might be a theme going on. I have one coming up on a map called Hot Pot Oasis, where I'm planning on doing a naval only sort of schematics going on there. So look out for that one, and if you are the one that suggested to me that map / made the map that Hot Pot Oasis is, sorry, I don't know where my train of thought was lost there, then watch out for that video next up when you are watching this, whenever you are, but that video may already be out because of how time works and all that jazz, and I'm just looking at this screen and looking at all of the blue balloons which are going at the same speed over left and right and very, very infrequently going up. Oh dearie me. Sometimes it's a good way to see how many balloons, or what balloons spawn on a particular round, just by going onto this map. So we're going to go for Striker Jones here, because I want the support on my mortar monkey to be as much as possible. And also as well, Geraldo's not going to be that hugely useful on a map like this, simply because, well, of all this. But then again, with Geraldo, you can place shooty turrets in between the different roads here. Like, there is some space here and there in order to put down shooty turrets and creepy idols and all that jazz, but you don't want to always rely on Geraldo. And with mortars and obviously bombs as well, or any tower that deploys explosives, Striker Jones is a very, very good supporting hero. This is a very ideal map for snipers, for mortars, for helicopters, and for aces, also as well for darting gunners as well. So most of the military monkeys, which are not naval ones, will benefit greatly from a map like this, because regardless of where you put down, let's say, a heli, or where you put down an ace or a sniper, as long as it's not behind these buildings with a sniper in that case, then you're going to have yourself a very easy time on this map. Right, we're going to be putting down our mortar monkey over here. Lovely. And we are set to go. So what I was trying to say earlier is that with the base attack, rather than the mortars popping only 1 balloon, or 1 layer of a balloon, it now pops 2 layers. And in the Balloon Buster upgrade, it now smashes through 3 layers of balloons. Isn't that just a nice little upgrade here and there? That could mean the difference, actually, between certain 2TCs and maps on the Megapop sort of thing being possible or not. like being given +1 in attack is a really nice little buff to have there. Yeah, regrow balloons are a little bit of an issue on this map because of just where they are, and trying to pop everything at once is not always gonna be possible. I'm not very good when it comes to micromanagement, especially with the mortar. The mortar is a tower that I generally dislike because you are required on micromanaging in order to get the most out of it. So pop that and pop. Okay, at first I thought I only did one, but then it just regrew then and there. So Striker Jones has been given an interesting new ability in update 39, and that is target focus for 15 seconds. Mortar monkeys target touch/cursor with increased accuracy. So wherever your cursor is on the map, the mortars follow along with it. And once the 15 seconds are up, it goes back to its targeting position. So let's say at this given instance, it's targeting over here. Once the ability is done and dusted, it will go back to this spot or wherever you have laid the mortar monkeys' cursor. And that's with every mortar as well. So whether they've touched base, then they are going to keep that base there when the ability has expired. Oh my god, some of these pink balloons, I hate pink balloons in general. They are just sometimes too slippery and too quickly in order to hit. And there's a little bit of trouble there. Like, I've said this multiple times, but I'm not a very good player at this game. We need 400 more in order to make this less resistant to explosive damage, but we're not going to do that. We're going to instead get some cleansing foam so that we have a means of decamifying balloons, because that is going to be our next issue after this slot. The engineer will be able to remove the black layer. I'm going to put you on strong actually so that you are targeting the black balloons, and hope the rest will be able to clear up with this. And I think the more interesting cross path with the biggest one is the oh, for goodness sakes, I've forgotten what you're called now. Burning stuff. That's much better. Like the faster reload is nice and all that, being able to fire shells more often, but I honestly think that the bottom path is the more interesting cross path to do, because you are trading attack speed for additional damage and continuous damage on top of that. So I think that is a more interesting play to go with. Okay, now that Striker Jones is at level 5, it means that these black balloons are less resistant to explosive damage, but it doesn't mean that they are guaranteed to be popped. It just means that they are less likely to resist the attacks. It's not a full-blown what do you call it, a full-blown vulnerability from being attacked. Okay, so here's our first camo of the day. Let's go to Balloon Buster, and we're going to go with increased accuracy as well, so that wherever we put our cursor, we are guaranteed to get that pop. You haven't missed much, just the decrease of our sanity as we're waiting for these rounds to go through. And it's not going to be long now until these rounds are going to go through with a bit more speed, because constantly trying to change the cursor's position just so that we're able to actually pop balloons is not the most entertaining thing here and there. But alas, we are in this for the long run, and the long run you shall suffer with me as we go through this adventure. Okay, shell shock, which means our blast radius is going to be a bit better, and occasionally we're going to be able to stun balloons as well, which is nice. It doesn't always get the burny stuff though. That's just because it's on the outer layer where the stun is, but not where the biggest amount of damage is from the lovely mortar itself. Well, I've got the village up. I'm hoping to get a radar scanner as soon as possible so that we're able to pop those camo balloons without requiring them to be decamified first. Oh, speaking of camo balloons, well, isn't this going to be a delight to wait for? And we have the wonderful target focus ability. I pressed 2 rather than 1. Now we've got it for 15 seconds or fast forward is probably only about 5 seconds or something like that. But wherever my cursor goes, the mortar will change its targeting. And just because we have, oh gosh, increased accuracy as an upgrade. Yeah, I thought it was something a bit more bland as an upgrade name. Or maybe it is bland, I don't know. It's the increased accuracy is a little bit, I don't know, it's a bit of an irrelevant aspect for it, but if you're going with middle path, cross path, then perhaps the increased accuracy is an even bigger bonus to that particular tower. Okay, we got radar scanner now. And we're going to go to jungle drums. We're not going to get MIB because Striker Jones will enable us to pop black and zebra balloons, which is good. Which means we can save a bit of money because I am planning on ultra boosting the biggest one. Also, we're going to be putting ourselves an alchemist on the field with everyone's favorite upgrade, perishing potions, because there's going to be barely any times where the balloons will make it this far along the track. And actually, because of the fact we now got camera detection, we don't need to rely on the cleansing foam. Berserker Brew in time for round 40. No more regrowth, please.
There's your target.
There is our target right there and there. And there we go. A little bit of target focus won't hurt anybody. Well, size of balloons, that is. There we go. First Moab taken care of. Strongest stimulant is active, and next we'll be getting the big one, with increases burny stuff damage further. Yeah, because shell shock gets increased burny stuff damage, so therefore the continuous damage is more potent than if we didn't go this top path with the little bottom path here and there. So it's a very interesting combination, and it makes you have a reason for not pursuing the increased attack speed, but also because of the fact that we're not pursuing increased attack speed with the middle path, it means that our strongest stimulant and perishing potion together crossed with a relatively slow firing tower means that both of these little upgrades here are almost always going to be applied. So you never need permanent brew on a tower like this with a relatively slow fire rate, because you don't need the permanent status of it when, oh gosh, pursue this goddamn pink balloon. Thank you. Would you target it, please? Thank you. I don't like it sometimes when that's a thing. It's like you are purposely taunting me, game. Oh, thank you. Bloody pink balloons, honestly. There we go, the big one. So let me purchase the big one, please. There we go. Right, another Moab, but yet it's going to be ended up like the other one. If not, it's going to be even quicker to its destruction, because now we have increased damage and a bigger blast radius than we did before. Ceramics are getting charred up, and rainbows outside of the initial blast radius will be getting instantly wiped. Like, that's a brilliant trait in and of itself, wouldn't you think? It goes through 7 layers, so that's expected. With every update going forward, Ninja Kiwi will most likely be adding new objects into the map editor. So let's say when Christmas comes around, there are going to be more snow things added and more Christmas things added, most likely. Because they have Halloween stuff in the map editor, but nothing else when it comes to other seasonal holidays. And it's just because of the factor that, well, stuff like Easter and Christmas are far away from the other shenanigans and stuff like that. Like Halloween in this case. So hopefully as time goes on, Ninja Kiwi will be adding more objects to the, I was supposed to call it the store there, to the map editor, so that people have even more means of being able to create even more wonderful masterpieces. This map could also be titled as the Path of Life, and people would understand that very well, because there's so many twists and turns in life, and it feels like you're barely progressing whatsoever from the bottom to the top. There's so many twists and turns, but at the end of the day, we are all like this map. Round 60. and take you down. Thank you very much. Okay, the ability has expired. I think... Hold on. Hold on. Let me just have a look at this real quick. I think these two levels have been swapped. So I remember being able to pop black balloons sooner with the mortar monkey. So perhaps that is the case where Ninja Kiwi is swapped here, but maybe it's just me hallucinating. But I'm pretty sure you are able to pop black balloons with the mortars as soon as you put I was calling it Geraldo there. Put Striker Jones down as soon as you can on not round 6, but as soon as you can on Chimps anyway. So that is a fact in and of itself. We'll go overclock. We'll see how well we do with the overclock and see how much time we save by using overclock. Because honestly, you're not firing very quickly. But the only downside is that acidic mixture dip and what you call now strongest stimulant will expire a bit more quickly. But still not that quick considering this is a very slow tower when it comes to its fire rate. Oh, fortified balloons are lovely, aren't they? Not really. But they do provide a purpose. What am I doing today? I don't know why, but I'm feeling incredibly tired recently. And my ability to speak has gone from 10% to 1%. Now I say 10% in my utmost honesty. So, as I was saying earlier, I don't really think I'm a very good player at this game. And it's not because, well, I'm playing on a map like this, which is very, very beginner friendly, but it's just like, there are people out there that are able to make certain 2 megapops possible on, like, advanced maps, on expert maps, on blondes, for goodness sakes. People are able to make tier 4 towers, a 2 megapoppable possibility, on a map like Blondes, which is like the shortest map within the game. Like, I see records like this and I'm thinking, how on earth do people do this? And that's why when I initially went about doing like 2 megapops videos and 2 tower chimps videos, that I see some records like this and I'm thinking, surely some of these are not actually possible and people faked it or something like that. But that was really really dumb of me in order to say that. Like with anything in life, just relying on an image as like proof of something is going to make you gullible towards lies and that sort of stuff. And I'm not talking about stuff like this where like I have been proven wrong most dearly about that sort of thing, but I'm just talking about other aspects in life. If you just solely rely on an image, regardless of its source, regardless of anything in life, you are unfortunately going to be set up for lies. At some point you will be set up for lies. So that's why I'm like I was wrong, but in some sense I was right in that case, because you can't just always trust something that's provided by other people that you don't know on the internet and then just be like, yeah, you just gotta believe everything that you see. You gotta be gullible in everything that you see, and you just believe everything that you see regardless of its credibility and that sort of stuff. So it's just a theme that I just gathered throughout my time in life in of itself, is that you just can't trust anything that everything, sorry, let me just rephrase that. You can't trust everything that you see until you see proof, until you see that this kind of thing is credible, and well, you just take it on the chin and move on in life. The rounds are now proceeding much more quickly than they were in the beginning phase of this episode, because honestly, trying to keep track with every balloon on the screen while having the fire rate of a tortoise is not what I consider great in mind, and honestly it's a little bit annoying at times where you have to try and constantly keep track of balloons with the cursor of the mortar. Like, micromanagement, I've said also multiple times, is my least favorite aspect of this game. I'm sort of a person that I like to put down a tower and it does the work automatically, rather than you have to constantly put it on a particular part of the screen and it always requires your assistance in order to do that sort of jazz. Okay, so with our cursor, let us just aim at these two BFBs and then these two BFBs, and now the ability has gone away. Also, it's the only aspect of the target focus that is within the entirety of Striker Jones's level aspect. So there's no other upgrades to it. Let's say if you use targeting focus, and another thing that you could have on board, is the ability to target camo balloons. Or if it doesn't have it already for the balloon itself, then it grants temporary the full ability in order to pop black balloons and zebra balloons. But then again, that could also be considered OP because of the fact that then it can just right off the bat target DDTs. Round 78 is just absolutely gone. We're nearly 30 minutes into the recording, and that's just simply because of the track length of this and the fact that everything kind of looks the same as it always does, but except even more I don't want to say it's boring, but I'd say it's monotonous. So I think that's a better word to use than boring, because boring implies that something is, well, boring, but monotonous means it doesn't mean that it's boring, but it's just it's the same thing over and over again. Let's see. Yeah, BFBs are going down very easily. Let's use the targeting focus for a little bit here. Let's just aim at these bigger ones, and it goes back to where it was originally. Yeah, overclock is king when it comes to making its attack speed not the attack speed of a tortoise. And that one goes down just like that. I'm going to put you over there actually, and put the target focus on. Overclock at that. We did miss with a shell. You're now there. Yeah, the sounds are quite nice actually, because, well, it keeps them there for a split second. Down 81. Good. Round. So target focus. I was going to say round focus. Every round is a focus in and of itself. There's such a thing as a minimum track length in the map editor, but is there something as a maximum track length? Like, that would be very interesting to see if somebody can make a map that is so stupendously long that, well, on round one it takes like 10 minutes for red balloons to get to the exit or something along those lines. Because that would be stupid, but also hilarious at the same time. Just see all those balloons stacked into one area. And yeah, what a fun time that would be. Try and make a 2 megapots with a unupgraded tower. Like, wouldn't that be fun? Like put a super monkey down or something like that. Or I don't know, an unupgraded dart monkey, and be able to constantly give it super monkey fan clubs and the plasma monkey fan club at times. Like, that would be entertaining, wouldn't it? Somebody recommended me that I should do a 2 megapots with a base dart, and I'm like, how much do you hate me? How much do you want me to suffer through this game? Sometimes I suffer enough to provide these videos out. Like, in a ways, the end goal is worth it, but the journey to get to the end goal is sometimes not worth it. Sometimes I'd rather skip Brickle's pistol. Don't worry, it only requires one of your ammos. Quicker, and then you can have it back. Along with a big mess to clear up. Right. We are 26k away, sorry, from the Ultra Boost. But then, because of the fact that this track length is really long, I do want to get a second engineer down with overclock, so that when our Ultra Boost amount which has been used within a round has expired, we can continue increasing the fire rate temporarily by using the other engineer when we place it down eventually. Round 92 is done. Alright, put that over there. And DDTs do not stand a chance. Yeah, DDTs go down very easily on a map like this, with a tower like this. Yeah, when I saw this when I saw this map at first, I was thinking, gosh, the biggest one will do very well here because of how many times a balloon goes near a certain part of the map itself. There we go. Keep on going. Keep on going. You are one very powerful mortar boy. Yeah, I'm going to call you a mortar boy. B-O-I, boy. All of this is absolutely no issues whatsoever. Have you ever heard of the big one that preceded the biggest one? I wonder what the Mortar Monkey Paragon is going to be called. The biggest is one. Ultra Boost is up and running. We just need... Hold on. I've got an idea. Let us get ourselves some Ultra Boosts on at this tower so that when we get to round 98, we're going to have ×6 on this, hopefully. Even here, this is still doing damage. Like, that is a marvel. Oh, I didn't use a second one. I didn't use a third one during the round. How dare you lie to me? I think it also counts the overclocks as well that you use throughout the round. So if you had one currently going, and the fact that you used up the overclock throughout the round while the upgrade was still going on whatever tower you selected it on, it meant that the system thinks that you have already used up an Ultra Boost, and it doesn't know the difference between a overclock and an Ultra Boost. So now I'm a little bit of a disadvantage for round 98, but not that much of a disadvantage for round 98. Consider how many loops and tracks are on this map. This map is like an American highway. 14 different tracks on the same... 14 different lanes on the same highway. And still the traffic is at a standstill around 98. And this usually is the most terrifying round of them all. But thanks to the biggest one, this scenario is of no issues whatsoever. Let's just keep on targeting the ZMGs as they continuously get bombarded. There we go. ×7. Let's put you up here so that we can actually get the 8th one up and running, hopefully. Put you up there. Yeah, you're still doing a huge amount of damage, even though it's the weakest the further out you go. Right, there we go. There's number 8. And... yeah, let's just leave us for a little bit, and hopefully by the time this comes around, this, yeah, expired, which is good. Good. Excellent. You are the C. Thank you for that input there, man. Alright, there we go. And DDTs, the only things left. There we go. And we're now on this round. Guess what? We only have the bad left. Okay, we're gonna get to ×10 Ultra Boost on the biggest one. Have you ever seen a spectacle like this? No? Well, you've seen it now. Also, our 2 little buffs there from the Alchemist are sort of going away. Oh gosh, I selected number 2 by accident. But that's okay. There we go. Yeah, it's just gonna run out at some point when it comes to the amount of Ultra Boost that we can put down onto this, or at any given time on a round. Let's see, put that over there. We can afford one more down, and then that's it. No more Ultra Boosts allowed. Why did Ninja Kiwi allow it so that you can only put down 3 at a time? That's, like, I understand it, because then you could just do like a regrow farm and then just put ×10 on every single tower on the map. But still, that's kind of like the fun of this kind of scenario, or any of these kind of scenarios on a game like this. It means that you can try and exploit things and do things that you wouldn't be able to otherwise do. Like, I understand like the support chinics and stuff like that, otherwise you're able to get infinite money. in a sense, and be able to go above and beyond what you could normally do. Like, I understand abilities which gives you money, but when it comes to micro boosting your towers, that's a bit more questionable. I understand, like, I was going to say XXL traps there, but I understand, like, jungle's bounties and support Chinooxes. But for micromanaging boosting towers, it's a little bit more controversial. So anyways, the biggest one, 2 mega pops on this custom map. Yeah, so let's see how much further this can go, and then we will wrap up the video here and there. So I'm just going to put the cursor on this center point of the map here, and we're going to see how much further we can go with this single tower. Even DDTs are not going through our defenses here, so keep this up and we're going to have ourselves probably quite a long time on this map, honestly. And we can even put down other things, so I'm going to fancy going to Call to Arms and then the Homeland Defense for this behemoth and see how much potential we can sap from this one tower from the field. Also, between round 100 and now, we've accumulated 1.5 million pops. So that just goes to show the kind of scaling that goes on and the kind of towers that, so the kind of balloons that spawn out when it comes to this sort of thing. Okay, so fortified ZMGs are kind of making their way through here, but they're now at the center of the blast. Let's see. And put that down, lovely. We may even put down a third engineer so that we can always have 2 overclocks at any given point in time. Let's see. Call to Arms. Lovely. Yeah, this is the first time in a video where I'm going over round 100 because I am kind of curious to see how far we can go with just this as our main means of bopping. Obviously got Striker Jones and these engineer monkeys. But when it comes to this is our main means of dealing damage. Yeah, the Call to Arms is making light work of this now, lovely. Well, from the biggest one I meant, sorry. But I mean, Call to Arms is making this even more worthwhile. Oh, dearie me. Could we even get the perma-brew now that we're increasing our attack speed in so many different ways? Like, that could... Now, repeat, this could be possible. Okay, Ultra Boost spare, Call to Arms spare. Like, we're going to get to a point where we're going to exceed our Pierce cap. And even though balloons are within the blast radius, they're not going to get damaged by the shells because of the blast rate, of the Pierce cap. That is huge swaths of damage right there. And we have 2.5 times our pop count since round 100. Like, that just goes to show how many pops you can get after round 100 just because of the sheer number of RBE on the track. And RBE stands for Red Balloon Equivalent. So how many red balloons can you compact into a single round, given like you got like fortified ZOMGs and fortified BFBs, fortified MOABs, fortified ceramics and all that jazz. Put everything together and that is the number of red balloons on a single bit of round. Okay, so now we've got fortified DDTs, and those are tougher nuts to crack, and they're also making it near the center of the blast as well, which is kind of a point where, yes, they're getting to the most powerful point of the blast, but it's also a point where they could try and sneakily escape, which is not on our cards. Thank you very much. If you have enough fire rate, you can perma-stun a MOAB, a BFB. ZOMGs seem kind of less suspected to long-term periods of being stunned, and they kind of take less of an effect from the stun itself. So they get stunned they get out of their stun phase incredibly quickly. So we have the means of a Homeland Defense that's still got Call to Arms on it now. Okay, now it's deactivated. So now the next time we use it, it's definitely gonna be the Homeland Defense equivalent. I keep going. Target focus is really nice. It gives a big quality of life for artilleries. Because of the factor that, well, you have to keep constantly, like, selecting target over here, for example, or anything along those lines. So, the destruction is satisfying. But again, at times as well, just watching them in a daze is quite satisfying. Right, so where are we focusing on next? Well, these... Yeah, that's a permastone right there with those DDTs. Once they get closer to the center of the blast, the more likely they are to be stunned. Although they are making it to a point where they are entering the center of the blast, which means it won't be long now until they make it to the top half of the map. Okay, this is important. We could lose to this bad, actually. I'm just thinking about this right now. Because of the factor that, well, bats soak up a lot of firepower. Oh, there's 3 of them. Oh, that's gonna be evil. Because we can't stun them. Like, this could be our Achilles heel, actually. Bats. Bats could be our Achilles heel here. We're gonna try our absolute best to do as much damage as we can. Try and make it so that we do damage to multiple bads simultaneously, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, we're gonna run out of ultra boost on this round as well, so we've got to alternate between both ultra boost and overclock when it comes to overclocking the bads themselves. Let's do that again. Let's use the target focus again. Let's see, gotta switch over here now and run out of that. Okay, yeah, this is definitely a more worrying round here because of the fact that we're dealing with something that cannot be stunned and takes a huge amount of firepower in order to take down. And it's also had 19 rounds where it can increase the amount of health and travel speed that it has. Okay, do both of those. Yeah, this is definitely a more challenging round here. Also, Striker Jones is now attacking, so that's a factor. That's a big old factor. And Striker Jones does 8 damage per shell, or per cannonball in this case. And of course, there are moments in which we are not firing. So, we definitely want to be able to get through a fortified bad on round 140, let's just say that. Yeah. Okay, they're starting to pop now, which is good, which is very good. Keep following, keep following. And we got ourselves the others to deal with here. They're not being... Oh, gosh. Second to last. Oh, dear. Yeah, this round has been going on for a long time here. This could also be like, how far can the biggest one go by itself as the main means of targeting potential? But then again, that's just a long title, and this map has quite a long name to it, so I'm not going to name it as that. Right. Use that again. Oh gosh, we've lost our means of that. Okay. Oh no, we really need our homeland defense and overclock back quite pronto. Okay, so that's homeland defense. There's overclock. They're making it very far. Let's just use Striker Jones's abilities and let's put this on it. Are we gonna get to the end here? Oh, that was so close. Super close. And it's all because all that RBE was compacted into 3 bags. How bad of this scenario? Okay, let's put that back up here actually. It's reshaped with the map after all. So that was really close. We now have a 3rd engineer and our 2nd overclock. It just means we now have 100% uptime on the overclock once our ultra boost has expired its usages. So That is only there for mainly insurance policy. So, okay, so that's gone and down dusted. The only things we could really do is put down 2 more quarter arms. And, well, we have 100% uptime on at least a 50% increase to our attack speed from villagers alone. Let's see. Follow the cursor for a little bit there. And we should be good. Yeah, fortified ZMGs are making their way to the center of the blast, but I honestly think we're not going to last much longer now, especially if another bad comes out, because bad on round 119, wasn't it? How many shells it took to pop them was just unspeakably unreal for further bad rounds, honestly. God, look at all these fortified BFBs have just been absolutely torched and incinerated and nuked into oblivion by the biggest one. I'm a simple man. I see explosives, I see balloons go poof, and I've got a smile on my face. Whoa, a huge bunch of DDTs here, but guess what? You don't stand a chance. None of you do. You're perma-stunned. If you can get them to be perma-stunned, that you don't have to worry about their movement speed, because the blast radius is so big that they cannot avoid the huge-ass blast radius of the biggest one. But then again, the only thing that could probably exceed the blast radius is the pierce cap itself of the tower of itself. So we may get to a point where it can no longer damage and stun them because of a pierce cap issue. Like here, like some of them were able to evade the stun because of the pierce cap. Yeah, they're making their way quite far along the track now, so it won't be long until we will be overwhelmed. These balloons are like zombies. They are without number. They are without fear. And the early lot will always be destroyed. And oh my god, these DDTs are making their way through. Yeah, it's not a perma-stun at the moment because our homeland defense is not up. So what can we do in order to get to this point? 30. Yeah, we're going to need about 35k or more in order to get another quarter arms up. Just trying to think of other ways to increase our attack speed more consistently. Because at the moment, we only get short spouts of stupidly fast attack speed. Are we about that life? No, I want a more consistent, repetitive formula. I know I've done this, but we should just ultra boost the strongest Dimlet Alchemist so that it's always applying its buffs to the Mortar Monkey, so that we get times 10 on this, and it literally is a perma brew in a way. Yeah, these ZMGs are now soaking up our artillery shells. Shut up, you're not meant to be popping them, you're just meant to be support here, thank you very much. You've taken away 30k amount of pops here and there. Oh gosh, they are making their way through. And there we go. That is that round. Let's just put Ultra Boost on that again. Put a overclock on this one, because when it comes to like the temporary attack speed boost, I think Ultra Boost and overclock are exactly the same. But the only reason why you'd get Ultra Boost is for the permanent attack speed boost indicated by the number by it. So there we go. So homeland, sorry, another quarter arms could be possible. That could be on the cards here. But is it? I'm not too sure. We have to wait until time finds its creepy little ways in order to either treat us or curse us. We have been here for over 1 hour and 5 minutes, and we are still on the same road of life here. Ah, lovely. Okay, so this time around, for some odd reason, the fortified ZMGs are kind of taking our shells a bit more, with a bit more oomph. And that's that. Yeah, they're being perma-stunned because of our sheer fire rate. Like, possibly the rapid fire path would have been better for long term, but I still think honestly burning stuff is a more interesting cross path simply because of the factor of, well, we get increased damage with our shells. Remember when rounds took a long time, like on the beginning, because of the factor that, well, they took a long time to get up here? Well, rounds are taking a long time now as well, but for a much different reason. Because of the fact that these balloons take so many shells in order to fully pop. Isn't it just the wonderful scent of spider DDTs? How are spiders able to be fortified like that anyways? Like, they can grow like certain insects and grow like armor like in the fantasy worlds to give them incredible resistances and stuff like that, but how does it work within a case, and how can you carry balloons inside you, spider? Are you a traitor to your own cause? I don't know. I don't want to test that out either. Let's see. Okay, we now have times 10 ultra boost on our strongest Stimulant Alchemist. Yep. You never really see that in a video like mine. Have you ever lost track of where your mouse is? Well, I think the biggest ones as shells couldn't be a bigger indicator while under target focus to see where your mouse is on the screen. We now have a call to arms up and running, and yes, I did put it over here. Just, well, if there's a bit pointless trying to put another village over here when they're already buffed anyway, so there is that little factor. Okay, homeland defense. Like, the only other thing I could really do is buy a second call to arms. Like, if you have monkey knowledge on and you have an energize on the field, you can get away with just one homeland defense and one call to arms, and you have 100% uptime on at least the call to arms aspect of the upgrades in of themselves. So there we go with that. Gosh, they are stunned for almost 0 amount of time here. Oh, so many DDTs and so many stuns on the DDTs. No, thank you. So 140 is definitely going to be our Achilles heel. I am sensing it. The fortified bad is just going to be too powerful for us. But who's to say we can't give it a good old college try? Yeah, this is what's going to kill us. This fortified bad is what's going to kill us. I'm going to try my damnedest to do as much damage as possible. And I'm going to take you down with me, even if it means I'm going to fail this particular round. Well, listen, this is just a little bit convenient. You're both traveling together here. Oh dear. Yeah, even the regular bad is not being popped at all. So what chances do you think we have of the fortified one being cleared? Yeah, this is the end for us. It's been a very, very good run, and the biggest one survived for this long. No, I don't fear death. I actually kind of like it in this case, because it means we can end the video on this very long track. So if I were to have any criticism of this map whatsoever, number one, it's quite plain, which is nice in a way, because we've got all this road here as the main theme of the map. All these lovely birds down here, trees. There's a little hut down here. This is obviously the campus to the university, and that is like the what do you call it, the guard post of the university in and of itself. But if I were to have one main criticism of this map, if you are watching this, Bloonbuffoon, is that this map is not long enough. This map ain't long enough. Thank you all so much for watching. Check out the Path OC Transpo Takes to University. I'm not too sure what's a reference off of that, but we managed to get over 22 million pops with the biggest one on that map as that of the main means of getting pops. Thank you all so much for watching, and we shall see each others in the next video in the void again. Thank you all so much for watching, and take care of yourselves, people.